What is up, guys? Rick Cacus here, and today we are going to be discussing the fact that the new faction rally, the first faction rally of 2018, is an absolute disaster. The very first day, heck, the very first hour of this event launching, the community was already in an uproar, so let's talk about why. Now, firstly, I don't have anything against the actual concept of faction rallies. I actually think they're pretty fun, getting everyone back into the game to earn a bunch of new weapons, and I actually really like the idea of the entire community being involved, and then at the end of the event, one faction is chosen out of everyone to get their prized weapon. I do like the base concept, so I have nothing necessarily against faction rallies, just this faction rally is what we're talking about. Now, what makes this specific one so disastrous? Well, firstly, we have to mention the timing, because it's nothing short of almost comical. Like, at this point, it's like a Seinfeld episode where just everything is going wrong, but it's with a game we love. So the timing is bad because just recently, extremely recently, I think less than a week ago, Bungie released a big development update talking about that they know Destiny 2 is flawed, the player base is abandoning the game at record speed, and they listed a bunch of different things they're going to do to fix the game, and came out and just said, look, we're doing this, and frankly, a lot of those things are very good, and people got some hope, but a huge part of the community is still apprehensive about the state of Destiny 2. They feel disenfranchised, they feel like they don't enjoy the game anymore. So Bungie was on thin ice. They've been on thin ice for a while, and so for something to go wrong, and for something to go this wrong at this point in time, is really, well, for lack of a better word, disastrous, because that's exactly what's happened. So what's gone wrong? Well, one of the very first things people noticed with the new January 2018 faction rally is the new weapons, or lack thereof. When you go and look at the reward engrams for your certain faction, you'll see that there's not much that pops up. In fact, there's one sidearm. Now, I'm sure people, when they first logged on, they went and checked, let's say Dead Orbit, and they went, oh, that new sidearm, is that it? Well, let's see what's in New Monarchy. Oh, it's the same sidearm. And then people went, wait a second, maybe this is a glitch, maybe this is an error and it's not showing the new weapons. And then people started to get loot and more of it and more of it, and realized this is no glitch. That is right. There is 0 new weapons aside from this one new sidearm that have been added into this new faction rally event, the first faction rally that has been delayed a whole month in Season 2. Nope, there's 0 meaningful new weapons. The new sidearm, I mean, it's fine, but again, all the factions share this one new weapon, and it's a weapon that's just not very good. That type of sidearm, that archetype, is just not a good one in PvP or PvE. So it's incredibly disappointing in terms of loot. Why would you log on? Why would you come back and play Destiny for this faction rally if there is 0 new desirable pieces of loot? Now again, this was so silly that many people thought it was a glitch, but I definitely did not think that. The amount of weapons that were added and the way these weapons were added, again, we got a new weapon, it was extremely poor, but we got a new weapon, and so it's unlikely that the other weapons randomly glitched. It was more likely that these other weapons that we were seeing in the database were just the future prize weapons. Well, that turned out to be exactly the case. Extremely recently, Bungie officially replied saying just what I speculated, that the new weapons, after they would become the reward weapons for a certain faction rally, for example, the 3 auto rifles that are the rewards right now, once you can pick up those rewards, and then we have a new faction rally. In that new faction rally, these 3 auto rifles will all be added into the loot pools, and then there'll be 3 new prize weapons. Then once those prize weapons are given out, they'll be added into the loot pools, and it'll work like that. but that's gonna mean it's gonna be 3 or 4 faction rallies until we get a loot pool that's actually worth playing the game for. Now yes, there is new cosmetic items like ornaments and sparrows and ghost shells, but obviously these don't suffice for new weapons. Logging on to a faction rally was about getting the weapons available for that faction rally, and considering there's one new one, people's motivation is going to drop and already has dropped massively. Heck, a lot of people are going to do what is frankly my recommendation. Log on, pledge your different characters to different factions, and then just, you don't have to play anymore. Whoever wins, you get the auto rifle, because it's certainly not worth grinding for any of the weapons available right now. And you can't even use the excuse that, oh, it takes up a ton of development time to make these weapons, and then of course these weapons are available to all players now with the seasons instead of being available only to the Curse of Osiris people. But again, that excuse doesn't fly, because Bungie wouldn't have to worry about this if they had random perk rolls. But because they went the direction of static rolls, it means they have to introduce a lot of variety with new weapons entirely. They did this to themselves, guys. This isn't like something that I feel sorry for them, because again, they got themselves in this bind. But then things get worse. Not only is there no new weapons, but you'll notice that if you do decide to stay on the game and grind for the pistol, you're going to be getting tokens at a lessened pace. People notice that, hey, wait a minute, I'm not getting tokens as fast as I should. Well, it turns out it is as fast as you should, because Bungie actually went out of their way and imposed a faction token cap. Yes, here's the official post right here, showcasing that how you earn tokens has been manipulated officially, and here's Bungie's explanation for it, saying that actually going to different lost sectors too quickly is going to result in you not earning as many faction tokens as you should. So if you're bouncing from lost sector to lost sector and you notice, wait a minute, I'm not getting tokens, this is why. But this cap has not only been instated for this part of the game, but has apparently been mistakenly instated for other people in other circumstances. There's been Reddit posts of people saying, hey, this is applying, to me at least, for public events as well. That's right, people just grinding public events are finding that they're hitting this token cap as well. Guys, this is insane. Why would Bungie do this? Actually put a cap on how many tokens you can get just from grinding different lost sectors. How the heck is this necessary, and how the heck did this actually get brought up and not immediately thrown away? Bungie just got through a huge controversy involving a cap to experience, and now they're putting a cap on faction rally tokens. Like, did they not learn their lesson here? But hold on, because it gets better. The absolute cherry on top of the sundae that is the Faction Rally 2018 disaster is the fact that, yeah, you're gonna get less tokens than you should. Yeah, there's no reasonable loot to grind for. But, Eververse is selling a new exotic ghost shell that gets you more faction tokens than normal, which you're gonna need, because otherwise you'll run into the mandatory cap. And by the way, people throw the phrase pay to win around absolutely everywhere, but in a faction rally, how do you win? Well, you get as much loot as possible. I think everyone's kind of in agreement of that. In fact, you turn in as much tokens as possible, and then your faction literally wins. And so selling for money, or I guess bright dust, which money, for anyone who doesn't want to dismantle 1,000 ghost shells in order to afford it, but is that kind of pay to win? Pay to get loot faster? Certainly. That's a little sketchy, if you don't mind me saying. So let's just summarize this, because I think that really puts the ridiculousness of what's going on into perspective. So, Destiny 2 is not in a great state. Bungie came out and had to have a development update to showcase all of the changes that Bungie is going to enact into Destiny 2 to basically regain faith with the community. Right after that, they introduce a faction rally that has essentially no meaningful loot to go after, no new weapons that we really want to get aside from one weapon that all three factions share. And then they impose a cap on the amount of tokens you can earn. For the few people remaining within the game who still play regularly, those people are now punished. They can't earn loot as fast anymore. And then they go and sell an exotic ghost shell that does help you get tokens faster. Jeez, like, what are they thinking? How did this get through Q&A without someone being, wait a minute, aren't people gonna be upset if we're doing this stuff? It turns out, yeah, the Destiny subreddit is saltier than ever, which I didn't think that was possible, but yet they're even saltier, and of course people are very upset with what's going on right now. And of course they should be. Bungie, this is not how you regain faith within the community. Like, you do not impose token caps. You do not include one new weapon to a faction rally. You've gotta see that wasn't a very good idea. And you definitely don't take an exotic ghost shell, which would have been a cool reward for beating the raid. Get a raid, get the ghost shell, and then for the rest of the week, you're getting more tokens more easily. Nope, you put it behind Eververse after all of the crap you've gotten for Eververse. You pull the same stunt again. What is going on in that studio that this could, all three of these things could happen in the same event? But at the end of the video, with all of that being said, there is some good news. There's a new global event coming to The Division in less than a week, and it's introducing new classified gear sets. So that's worth being excited for. In any event, guys, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content, please slap that subscribe button. And if you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.